A comprehensive win for Team India yet again as they sail through to the Super Fours of this ongoing Asia Cup. But there's no doubt that even Hong Kong made sure that they put up a little bit of fight. So to say, this is the post-match show of the India versus Hong Kong clash of the ongoing Asia Cup 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Damini Basu. Extremely delighted to welcome my panelists Joydeep Mukherjee and Nishant Jeet Arora. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. Joyda, let's straight away have you talking us through your thoughts about India's win first.
Yeah, I thought it was a comprehensive win, but a lot of questions, a lot of worries for India. It was evident if you looked at Rohit Sharma's face when we were bowling at the back end. Avesh and Arshdeep both had off days today. And, this was a spirited effort from Hong Kong. Nobody really expected them to win. Everybody expected them to put up a fight, which they did. They did that before as well when they played each other in the past. But
Yes.
as far as the batting was concerned, everybody looked a little circumspect. Everybody looked a little like, okay, you're only playing against a team like Hong Kong. So if you get runs, people say, oh, you only got runs against Hong Kong. If you don't get runs, people say you didn't even get runs against Hong Kong. So that was the problem with the big three. I think KL, Virat, and Rohit did take a bit of. They were looking a little bit circumspect. Surya plays differently. He doesn't have as big a reputation to protect as these guys. But Surya is special. You know how much I've been harping on Surya because I understand this game and I know the sort of range that he has. The sort of shots he played. First ball sweep square, second ball sweep fine. He can do so much with a cricket bat in hand, and in so many places he can hurt you. It was special today. He was the difference. Otherwise, this game could have been close. I still expect India to win under the gun, but India will have worries for sure.
Yes, definitely. And before we come to the technical part, beginning with Joyda, Nishant, if we can have you telling us and talking us through your thoughts about India's performance tonight and their win.
I think bit sketchy to start with, and I would agree with Joyda that this win will make them more worried than comfortable. They will It will push them to think a bit. But for me, the silver lining is that Virat has got runs in both the innings, and nothing works more than the runs. Like if he's getting runs against Pakistan, when India lost the first wicket, we were aware that India needs a partnership there, and losing another wicket there would have been really harmful. But he changed his gears, and we knew that we are not chasing a big score. So he changed his gears to play a knock, which I think that helped India to, stabilize their innings. And today also, I think uh, it was not like one of those 160 strike rate innings. It was 134 strike rate innings. But if you look at the way innings are constructed in 2020, you will find that one player who anchors the innings is always around 130, 140. And his job is mostly to rotate the strike and give the guys who can hit big most amount of balls to play. And I think that's what Virat did very well with Surya when Surya was at the crease. So sometimes we look at numbers. Yes, I personally feel, and I have been saying this since Zimbabwe, that don't expect KL Rahul to get the form overnight. When you're coming out of such a long injury layoff, it is difficult. You're physically there, but your mind is still getting ready because your body goes in the trauma response, and the trauma response is wherever your injury is, you will be little circumspect to start rebuilding your cricket before you throw 100% behind it. And that will take time, and we should be little patient with that. We should be little uh, go little easy on him and give him some time to get his form back. He's such a crucial player. And I feel that overall it's a good state for India. Like if KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, one of them doesn't play, who will play? Rishabh Pant will play in their place. So it's like a good combination to have. Even the guy who's sitting out is equally good than them. So bowling wise, I agree with Joyda. Again, it showed that there is no match for experience. Look at Bhuvneshwar Kumar's spell. Look at Ravindra Jadeja's spell, and compare it with Avesh Khan or Arshdeep Singh. It will take them some time to understand that consistency is the key. You cannot have a great day and then a bad day, then a great day, then a bad day. because there will be a game which will be do and die, and if you have a bad day on that day, then you will be
Yes.
remembered for that. So, and thankfully, again, there also we have options. Bumrah is not there. Harshal Patel is not there. Mohammad Shami can still be considered. I don't know whether he is in the scheme of things for the T20 or not. If he was, he should have been there in this team. But I think selectors have moved beyond, at least in this format. This is the feeling I get. I'm not sure. Nothing is 100% sure, but I feel that India will look back at this match and say that we could have done better.
Okay, and let's delve into the technical dissection of this match. Joyada, we'll begin with you as Nishant raised the topic of KL Rahul. If we can have you talking us through your emotions on his innings, a cautious 39 ball 36 he played today. You felt he looked a bit shaky, maybe?
No, I don't think shaky is the right word. I think he hasn't hit his straps as yet. Is more what it looked like to me, and it's obviously because of what Nishant said that he hasn't played cricket in a while. He's had injury, and no matter how great a player you are, how much form you were in, when you've had a layoff and when you're on a comeback trail, it takes you a little while to hit the straps again. Unfortunately, if this was Test cricket or one-day cricket, it would have probably given him a little more time to hit the straps. But in T20, you got to hit the straps from ball one, especially when you're opening, because you want to utilize the power play. You want to avail the first six. So if there's somebody who's not hit his straps as yet, it shows. And it's just not him. It's actually him, Rohit, and Virat, uh, who, in general, over the last maybe 10, 15 games, haven't looked at their best. So
Yes.
that is why our beginning is taking a bit of a pounding. I know it's only a matter of time. These guys are great players and they'll get over it. But unfortunately,
Yes.
all three of them have hit a bit of a low patch together. Normally, it'll be, Rohit in the World Cup was phenomenal. Others batted around it. Virat has been phenomenal all his life. People have batted around him. KL has had some really good knocks. People have batted around him. But if you have one, two, and three of any team simultaneously all not at their best, then there is a
Yeah.
lot of pressure on 4, 5, and 6. Today, fortunately, 4 took it over. Uh, Previous game, fortunately, number 6 took it over. But then you're depending on somebody else to bail you out as well. But I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time before these guys hit the straps, and then everything is much easier for 4, 5, 6. Right now, they're doing the brunt of the scoring, the brunt of getting you across the line.
Yes. Yes.
Generally, you would expect one of the 1, 2, 3 to stick around till the end.
Yes. And we do hope KL Rahul gets back to his form as fast as possible. We know how reliable a player he is whenever he gets back to his form. Nishant, I'll come to you. Rohit Sharma, looking a bit wobbly, 2 matches into the Asia Cup. He's still, you know, probably struggling somewhere, somehow.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. With Rohit's case, I think he did exceedingly well in whatever little chances he had in West Indies, and he is one of those players, who will play one phenomenal knock in every third game. He is not one of
Yes.
those players who would be like consistent with 50, 50, 50. That may happen. World Cup was a purple
Yes.
patch for him where he got 500s. But I
Yes.
don't think Rohit's form is a big concern. I think we also have to understand that, he is now leading the side also. And that takes away your
Yes.
own preparation a bit.
Yeah.
No matter how much you talk about it, no matter how much you say, then you are just not worried about your form. You're worried about others forms, you're worried about the combinations. So your mind is working all the time. So, and Rohit is quite used to it. I feel that he's a very, very good leader. And I am actually, to be honest, I'm very impressed with the way he leads this side. Like, you see a lot of players coming out and talking about that the environment they are playing in right now, and
Yes.
they talk about that so openly that there's a great environment in the dressing room and it helps them
Yes.
to go out and perform well. So that's largely, and I will tell you that environment in the team is not created by one player or one individual. Maybe that person puts the seed, but everyone has to put their part in it, and senior player
Absolutely.
and your coach has the most
Yeah.
important role in it. If
Absolutely.
if the other people around see that how Rohit is
Mm-hmm.
supported by Virat, by Jasprit Bumrah, the environment suddenly changes.
Hmm.
When you have two, three goal posts, then you don't know which goal you have to put the ball. But when you have one goal post,
Yes.
then things
Yes.
become very easy and clear. And I think that is what Rohit and Rahul have done tremendously. Rahul again, he was a great player, but more than a great player, he was a great brand manager as well. And
Hmm.
captaincy is all about that. So I think on that front, I'm extremely happy. Yes, the problem with players, like as Joyda has very rightly mentioned, that
Hmm.
great players are always remembered for their failures. How we remember
Yeah.
Roger Federer? Oh, he was not very good at French Open.
Yeah.
How do we remember Ivan Lendl? Oh, he didn't win a single Wimbledon,
Yeah.
despite winning 19 Grand Slams. So ordinary players are remembered. So the problem with right now people like Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul is that we have such high standards for them
Hmm.
that we don't, the moment they get 25 or 12 balls, we say, oh, what is Rohit Sharma? 21 of 13 balls. If that start would have been given by Sanju Samson today, we say, oh, he gave a good start. He could have converted into a big one.
Yeah.
But with Rohit, if he had got 21, he should get 16, 36 balls. Nothing less than that is accepted.
Yeah.
So, and it is their own creation. Like, we are not to be blamed. They are great players. Over the years, they have.
They have set those standards.
इट्स लाइक ऐसा है ना कि आपको रोज मम्मी बना के दे रही है बढ़िया खाना, और फिर 3 दिन खिचड़ी मिलेगी तो क्या मम्मी खिचड़ी बना दी, खिचड़ी भी स्वाद होती है, खानी चाहिए कभी कभी.
नहीं, मुझे तो खिचड़ी बड़ी पसंद है और मेरी मम्मी बहुत अच्छा खाना पकाती है. ओके.
चलो ठीक.
जी. Joyda, I'll come to you. KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, then that outstanding unbroken 98-run partnership between Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav. Virat Kohli getting his half century, but it will definitely boost his morale a lot. And Surya Kumar Yadav, he looked no less than a monster. How can somebody hit a 26 ball 68? There was no stopping him. If we can have you
Yeah,
talking us through your emotions on this.
yeah. So in the 90 plus partnership, 68 runs were scored by Surya Kumar Yadav. That's number
Yes.
one. Number two, but he's that sort of a player. That's the reason why I always pick him. Today I picked Rahul. Some Boria picked Virat. Somebody Boria picked Rohit. Somebody else picked Virat. The reason is because we know, looking at the bigger picture, we need these guys to perform for us. But Surya is the sort of guy. Firstly, he plays freely because he doesn't have as big a reputation as a Rohit or a Virat to protect. He's still, he's really good and he's still making his reputation. He's what, couple of years of international cricket behind him. But the others have
Yes.
played 8 years, 10 years. Somebody's been former captain, somebody's current captain. So it comes with a
Yes.
lot of pressure. So, but Surya plays like that, and when it comes off, it looks awesome. Now, what he has
Hmm.
to do is do it in the big games. See, if you look at Virat, Rohit, Shikhar,
Hmm.
they've done it in big
Hmm.
games.
Hmm.
Champions Trophy
Absolutely.
final against
Hmm.
England, against Pakistan in the World Cup, matches like that. And it's only a matter of time. So Surya was really good today. And I think even Surya wasn't, Rishabh would have, or Jadeja would have, or somebody would have come and got us to about 170 or 180, which probably would have been enough.
Yes.
But
Yes.
my point here is that,
Absolutely.
yeah, but my point here is that you also need now Surya is the sort of guy you can't stop him because he's got such a big range. He's actually a 360-degree player, which is why I feel that he's one guy in the team who can bat anywhere between 1 and 7, 1 and 6, anywhere.
Yes.
So that is how you look after him is very important. And if he had failed,
Hmm.
he had failed the last game. If he had failed in this game, you're going to get players like this a long rope because
Hmm.
then only can they play the way they do. Because the day they
Hmm.
play, they don't need help from anybody else. Today, everybody else batted at 130, 120, 110 strike rate. One guy won you the game with the bat.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So against Hong Kong, 120, 130, 110 is normally not that good. People say, okay, should be better. But today he did it. If he had failed, others would have bailed you out. But the sort of innings he plays, we heard the commentary, saw the game, jaw-dropping innings. Because the shots he hits, a white ball outside off stump, the bigger side, 6 over point, then straight six, then 6 over mid wicket, then 6 over fine
Hmm.
leg. So the range
Hmm.
he has is unbelievable. He's always
Dada,
had
I
it.
have to
And he's
ask you something. Dada, I have to ask
humble.
you something. And since you are on the coaching side as well, like normally we have seen when someone tries to play that shot over extra cover, it looks a beautiful shot when you play that inside out six over the covers or extra cover.
Yeah.
But it is the rarest guy who I've seen who hits it like that, but the ball sails between point and third man for a six. Like at the last moment, he opens his bat. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Like that for me,
So he
that shot is
generates.
the craziest shot.
Yeah, true. Because the squarer you hit it, the more power you can get. The finer you hit it, you're not putting the full face of the bat. You're sort of slicing it. You're absolutely spot on. But what he does is he's got tremendous bat speed, Nishant, and
Hmm.
he, in spite of him slicing it, he carried that big side boundary with ease. So he's blessed with timing. We all know that. All these guys are. If you look at all these guys, they all have timing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the Indian team for so long. Number one. Number two, he has a lot of bat speed. And you know what he does with his body, he moves around. So that ball was wide, but he was also on the tram line. He was
Hmm.
not where the stumps are. So he gets close to the ball. So that actually became a ball outside of stump, like a six stump ball. It was a 10 stump ball, but he went to the fifth stump, sixth stump to make it a 10 stump ball, which felt like a fourth, fifth stump ball. So he gets close to the ball. And also that wrist, when the ball hits the bat, Sachin was the best at it. When the ball hits the bat, there is the transfer of weight, and this wrist just goes like that, both the wrists. It happens, it's going to happen at the time when the bat is hitting the ball. That gives it another 10, 15 yards. So it's a culmination of all these things that ultimately puts that ball where it belongs. Yeah, it's a great
I
question.
can I can match him with this shot in golf because every time I drive, my ball slices and goes this side. So I can match him. But my only problem is that it's supposed to go straight. So I can tell Surya, I can match you shot to shot in golf, but my only problem is ball should go straight, it goes this side. where both where
Uh,
sky hits.
nice one.
So, Nishad, let's come to you and have you talking us about your thoughts on how brilliant Surya Kumar Yadav was. And one thing I have understood by now, and I would like to, give this message to Surya Kumar Yadav, that Surya Kumar Yadav, make sure you're succeeding the days Joydeep Mukherjee is not taking your name as his
I
player
won't
of
pick
the
him.
match.
I won't pick him anymore. I've decided for
Make sure
India's
you
sake, I
don't
won't pick
do.
him anymore.
I
Make sure
will
you don't take his name ever, because 100% Surya Kumar will blast off the opposition. Nishant.
Damini, if you have a record button, please record this clip. Surya Kumar Yadav,
Okay,
right?
okay. Yes, Surya Kumar Yadav, surprise, surprise, is our player of the match.
Yeah, Surya Kumar Yadav is probably the best T20 batter in the world right now. The best
Absolutely.
T20 batter in the world, period.
Hmm.
And if India wins the Melbourne tournament, the World Cup in Melbourne, it will be because Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, and Jasprit Bumrah will be at their top form.
Hopefully.
And everyone will rally around them.
Yes.
You can take it in writing from me. Right now, I'm extremely happy. Today I woke up and to start see the match, and I saw the team sheet. And last night I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking that they will be smart if they don't play Pandya today, and that is what
Hmm.
they exactly did. And
Yes.
I think they should start doing it with Sky as well. Give him rest. You have enough players to win matches in between. जीत जाएंगे हांगकांग से, कैसे भी करके जीत जाएंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बहुत खराब खेलेंगे तो भी ऐसे जीतेंगे जैसे आज जीते हैं, पर
बट
जीत जाएंगे.
इनको रेस्ट चाहिए क्यों? मेरा क्वेश्चन, इनको रेस्ट चाहिए क्यों? 28 साल 30 साल उम्र है.
नहीं
तेंदुलकर को
दादा,
कभी देखा नहीं ज्यादा रेस्ट लेते हुए.
दादा, दादा, but
कभी
those
कभी
दादा, दादा, those times were different. These times are different, and you also have to see
क्या
that.
except IPL, what times are different? Guys played for 24 years, never asked for one series of rest.
No,
If you have
I,
a
I,
niggle, if you have
I,
an injury, if you're coming off a injury, I can understand. If KL Rahul says, my back is again playing up or my hamstring is again tight, I understand. But can you imagine Tendulkar sitting back and saying, I wish I had not given those state series off, then मेरा 200 टेस्ट मैच होता, 160 टेस्ट मैच नहीं होता.
No,
ये
Dada,
लोग एक
I hear you, but I would, we have been talking about, and I'm not saying them to rest them for a series. I'm saying that in between, like today, it was a good day because Hardik Pandya has given his all against a crucial game against Pakistan, the win secured. and you know that your next match will be depending on where you, like India is now they have topped the group A, so they will be in the top, like wherever their next game is, whenever their next game is.
They are
So
through to the Super Fours.
yeah, so in place of they getting one match rest or like a 1 day rest and again playing a game, it's good for someone like Hardik Pandya to get a 3 day rest. And because
Vishal, Hardik Pandya is getting a rest, but he'll be in the nets again day after tomorrow. How about him playing him as a batter in this game and he gets a 42 ball 100? Will that help him more or will the nets day after tomorrow?
well, that's a very interesting question, but I personally feel that it was a good move by India.
Unless you have an injury. No, no. I understand what you're saying, and I'm with you on this. This is the new trend, and I'm a little bit of an old timer in this.
Hmm.
The only reason I say this is because when Hardik's career finishes, he would have not played 25% of the matches because he was rested.
But Dara, you
So
also
why?
have you also have to see the new phenomena in world cricket is also, and we have not spoken on length about it. Is that how many people are talking about mental health now? And it's just not about how physically fit you are, but also how mentally fit you are. And that has been like talked a lot, and especially COVID. What it has done to the players is that they have been forced to live in a bubble for 2 years, and it has
Hmm,
taken a toll on their mind or everything.
sure.
So now I think the time is like, okay, switch off. You played a great game against Pakistan. We want you to be mentally and physically fit for this tournament. If we want Asia Cup to be won by India, okay, what is the best chance? Tell Hardik Pandya to rest against Hong Kong. When we reach the Super 4, we will need him in all 4 games. So what they are also trying to do is they are trying to manage their workload in a way where all the 15 players, like Rishabh Pant didn't play the last game. Just imagine
Okay,
Rishabh
then why
Pant.
not rest? Why not rest Jadeja and play Aksar? Why not rest somebody else and play somebody?
I'm sure that will also happen. I can tell you this even in this Asia Cup that will happen. You will see Jadeja getting rested for Ravi Bishnoi. You will see that. I think they will
Or
look
Aksar?
at the, yeah. If they will play a key match, they will win that key match, and after that they think that okay, they are secure for the next round. We have been seeing this happening in West Indies. We have been seeing this happening in England.
Yeah, that's
Every
because no, that's because we've been trying out players, but now we are playing a tournament. We are playing the Asia Cup.
yeah.
When you're playing a
So
bilateral
I
series
think
is
I think
different.
even
And you
I
talk
think
about mental health, it was there back in the day. People have left us. Jonathan Trotz, Graham Thorpe's, David Bairstow took his life. So it has come out more in the open now. I agree with what you're saying. It's been a tough time in the last 2 3 years. But my only worry is that when Hardik Pandya finishes his career, will he tell himself that I have played 37 test matches instead of 90? And I played, 145 one days instead of
and
220.
also
And
Dhara, we
Tendulkar,
no
and
I
Tendulkar played 400 one days
I
and
hear
200
your
test
point.
matches.
I hear your point, but we also
It's a
don't
great
know.
debate, actually. I know,
Huh.
I know, I know you feel for me and I feel for you. But I'm
Yeah.
just, it's like an old timer,
No,
new timer.
I
I
am,
always feel that if you need rest, you ask for it. Dhoni asked for rest, in the test series when we
no,
went to
I'm
Sri
sure,
Lanka when
Dada,
Mendy killed us.
I'm sure there is some method in it because
Yeah, I'm
last
sure
year,
there's a niggle or something.
no, so
He's
no,
feeling
and
a bit heavy on
I'm
the
sure
leg.
that last in, not just Nigel, we also know that he came out of a very bad injury last year.
Yeah.
Like last year, his injury was so bad that he was taken out on stretcher. And
Mhm.
after this, he has been
So load
recovering.
management and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, load management and all.
there must be a physiotherapist who must have played that
Yeah.
you should not bowl more than these many
Yeah.
overs. You should not
Yeah.
spend more than this much time. If you do this, this stress fracture will come back again.
Mhm.
So to sustain your body, you need to give that proper rest. And he must have discussed it with the team management, and team management would have decided, okay, Hardik Pandya in an international year can represent India in 30 games at his peak fitness.
Yeah.
What do we
So I
do?
think the
We put those
what you're
30
saying
games
is that
have in our,
it, there's a different way that it's approached right now.
yeah,
Like Tendulkar played from 16, but let's say Rahul Dravid. Okay, 164 test matches, 300 plus one days. I don't see anybody in the Indian team doing that now.
yeah, won't happen. It's
You know?
not easy with
Yeah. True. Yeah.
three format players on top of it, IPL. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. Like, so the choice for the team management is very simple. Whether we play Hardik Pandya bang, bang, bang from one game to 30th game and then risk him an injury, or he becomes semi fit, he can bat or can't bowl, he can bowl or can't bat, that kind of situation, or we use him judicially We use him where
sparingly.
we
Yeah,
need him, and make the most out of him. And in the
yeah.
end,
Because
and
it
in
was
the
only
end,
Hardik.
it's
Because it
it's
was
it's
only
like,
Hardik, I think it was with the injury. Say, otherwise they would have rested Rohit, rested Virat, rested
no. I
Jadeja,
think I
rested
think the
Chahal,
players
everybody then.
players who need time in the middle are getting that time in the middle. No one is talking about that KL
No,
Rahul should be
Jadeja has
rested.
been in good form. Jadeja could have taken off. Somebody like a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar could have taken off today. They've all
Yeah,
had been good form. But obviously, it was only Hardik because they are treating him with care, which is the right thing to do.
yeah.
Okay, Tani,
You
all yours.
Okay, so my
Tani, the
question
questions
is
lined
to
up for us. Yeah, we went off on a
no,
different tangent.
Joyda, not this time. No, Joyda.
No, I
Okay,
think
Joyda, I'll
Nishant
come
and
to
I
you.
went off on a different tangent. This is a discussion
And
we will
trust
go
me,
on till the cows come home.
I was finding it extremely interesting.
Yeah, it
Trust
is.
me.
We both have our points of view because Nishant is also he understands the old school. He's been there. He's been through that,
Yes,
and we are trying to
yes.
figure out the new one. That's where it is. Go on.
Figure it out and keep teaching me. That's always what I tell you to do.
Always, always.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And Joyda, now I'll come to you. We had throughout this session been talking about India. Let's talk a bit about Hong Kong. Hong Kong have time and again been referred to a team as minnows and minnows, but then we say do not treat your opposition very lightly. It was known that yes, definitely it is a match which India is bound to win, but can we not say that Hong Kong did not put up a fight? In a chase of 192, they did reach 152. And we had Babar Hayat scoring a 35 ball 41, Kinchit Shah getting 28 ball 30, Zishan Ali 17 ball 26. What are you thinking, Joyda?
Yeah, I think that they've done well, but in the context, those scores you said have not brought them close to the win. So a
No,
40 run win is a massive win in T20 cricket. But yes,
undoubtedly, yes.
yeah, yes. But if you look at Hong Kong, I've seen the qualifiers and I was expecting this. I've seen them; they were very good with the ball. It's only towards the end when Surya went berserk that it actually went out of their hands. But till about the
Yes.
16th, 17th over the game, they were in the game. And
Yeah.
Surya, when he plays any opposition, he can blow you away. It was one
Hmm.
such evening, unfortunately, for Hong Kong. And spinners coming in bowl the 20th over, the 19th, 18th over.
Hmm.
It was so good to
Hmm.
see, and
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
held their own. A lot of us
Hmm.
could say this Indian team should be getting 240, and we
Yeah.
barely got to, 190 because of what happened
Yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah.
If I think Surya or with maybe Rishabh, two guys who can blow you away like this at the end.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Because Hardik's not in the 11, I'm saying.
Yes,
So today
definitely.
was Vatsal, but they held their own with the ball, with the bat. I think they held their own. This is good news for global cricket.
And I
Yes.
just also want to add a bit on
Yeah,
it. Like,
Nishant.
you have to also understand that these
Hmm.
are not full-time cricketers. They
Hmm.
work part-time. And
Hmm.
Hong Kong, I was reading, has a pool of 30 cricketers only, out of which they pick their team. And in our one IPL team, there are normally 30 to 35 players. So you can imagine the
Yeah.
difference.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
every effort they do should be appreciated, because
Hmm.
the kind of resources, the kind of time, energy they can put on the game, and
Hmm.
despite all of that, they still come and compete at this level. If we really want to
Yes.
make the game global, we have to punch them up. We have to
Yeah.
show them, as heroes. Because
Yeah.
most of these players, I live in a country where, our team in Canada is built by the immigrants. So if you have good set of immigrants coming from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and at one time all those 15 are very good, they will do well.
Hmm.
But if they want to inherit their local talent, if they want to bring up their local talent, then these guys
Hmm.
need to be made heroes, so they can, motivate the people from their own country to start playing the game.
Hmm. Absolutely. So, Nishant, would you say that? What were your thoughts? Shouldn't India have breached that 200 mark? When they were going so well, would you say that not breaching the 200 mark was not very much Team India like?
I don't think so, and I feel that this Dubai wicket is a little tricky wicket. It
Okay.
looks very different from outside, But
Mhm.
anything above 170 would be a tricky chase on this wicket. So, and I think thanks to Surya Kumar Yadav, we did well to reach
Mhm.
198. एंड ये हम लोगों का बड़ा एक फैन पर्सपेक्टिव होता है, माइलस्टोन 200 रन क्यों नहीं बनाए, अच्छा 200 बनाया तो 250 क्यों नहीं बनाया. अगर किसी विकेट पे मतलब कोई विकेट आया जो एकदम इट्स अ फ्लैट ट्रैक, देन यू
हाँ.
नो द पार स्कोर इज 220. बट देयर
हाँ.
विल बी अ विकेट जहां पे आपको मालूम है योर पार स्कोर इज 130, इट्स टर्निंग, इट्स बाउंसिंग, बॉल इज नॉट कमिंग ऑन टू द बैट. बट उस गेम में
हम्म.
अगर आप ये सोच के जाओगे कि यार नहीं मुझे तो 200 ही बनाना है,
हम्म.
तो फिर तो आप 80 रन पे ऑल आउट हो जाओगे.
हाँ.
So I think India must have thought that anything above 180 would be a good score, and anything
हम्म.
over and above would be a bonus. So they reached
हम्म.
196, or I don't remember the exact score, 96 or 98,
192.
192.
192.
So 8 run short, but how does it matters? Like अगर आपका पहला ओवर मेडन हो जाएगा तो दूसरी टीम को तो 10 के एवरेज से रन बनाने ना.
So, with this, we come to the end of this post match show of the Asia Cup 2022 match 4 between India versus Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, I was your host, Damini Basu, and you were hearing my panelists, Jayati Mukherjee and Nishant Jeet Arora, with their insights. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. And we meet again on the 4th of September when the Super Fours
4th of
begin.
September. Who India
Now, what
playing?
happened, Nishant?
I'm so happy because I wanted to know the date.
Yes, so you got the date,
Yeah.
and we are yet to see who Team India locks horns with on the 4th of
Actually,
September.
on this show, we
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
discussed Afghanistan once.
Afghanistan is on a flyer. My
Man, what
goodness, look at them.
performances! And you look at that team, look at that country where they are right now, and the kind of talent they have, and the kind of cricket they play. Oh my God! It was
I'm
a
not
great.
They're,
surprised. They beat Bangladesh last time, beat Sri Lanka last time, and tied with India. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they
That
are a
it's
lovely team.
unbelievable. Their rise is unbelievable. If you ask today that who would be the top 5 team or top 3 teams in subcontinent in 2020 cricket, at least, you would say India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. And it's a big thing to say that West Indies, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh are
Yeah,
not part.
you made a great point about backup. So they have central contracts. They spend. I know they were in Uttarakhand. They
Hmm.
were in Dehradun for a month.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of the other boards don't support the team like that. They had
Yeah,
30 of their players in Dehradun for a month. Now, Zimbabwe doesn't have that. Hong Kong doesn't have that. West Indies doesn't have that as big as it sounds. Sri Lanka doesn't. Their pay structure, their central contracts, they're not in place. See, we know about the Indian cricketers. Everything is so hunky dory. Okay, we know
yeah,
about Australia, we know
correct.
about England, but we don't know. I have heard of test people who have played 60 test matches for India put up hoardings in West Indies when India goes to play over there. Can you imagine a 60 test match player here putting up hoardings on the ground? So
I
the
agree.
jobs for the players, beyond cricket, central contracts, looking after them, stability, backup is not there. Once you back up, see, Bangladesh have had good backup. Their board has backed them well. Look at their progress. Look at the progress of Afghanistan. It is not just a brand of players. What you give with it, also how you back it up. So it's all a combination of everything coming together.
I agree with you, Dada. Completely agree with you on this.
So we meet again. All three of us meet again on the 4th of September when Team India begin their Super Force campaign. We are yet to know who their opposition will be. Until then, this was once again the post-match show of the India versus Hong Kong clash of the Asia Cup 2022. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. Take care and let's meet on the 4th of September. And it's good night from India.
Thank,
Bye, Damini. Bye
thank you.
bye.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.